Hello everyone, Metal Witcher N7. Yes, that is going to be the name of my YouTube channel going forward once again, because hey, I've actually started playing Mass Effect again and I love it again, so that's pretty fun. That's unimportant though, you're here for the tutorial. So I want to keep this tutorial as short and sweet and to the point as I humanly possibly can. That is not bad, that's horrible grammar, I just woke up. Okay, so the first thing you want to do to mod the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is to get it fully downloaded and make sure you know exactly where it is downloaded on your computer. This is going to be important, whether it's in your C drive, your D drive, your SSD, whatever. Just find out wherever it is downloaded, and if you want to, just to bookmark it, just for easier, just to make things easier for you. Right click, pin to quick access, and then at least your Steam apps will be right there waiting for you to see it. Okay, next thing you want to do, go to Nexus Mods and go and type in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I mean, you don't even have to type that in. Just type in Mass Effect, and the Legendary Edition will pop up. Again, just to make it easier, you can click this bookmark thing, just so that way your games will be here. Probably should have said this first, but you also need to make a Nexus account. Whether to go premium is optional. You don't have to do it, but for the texture mods that I will list later on, as an example, premium does make it easier, but there is an alternate way to download it, which I will also explain, and I will leave links down in the description for. Okay, so next thing you want to do, this is the most important step thus far. Go to popular, make sure it says all time just to make it easier, and go to the ME3 Tweaks Mod Manager. Now this, you can just download, manual download, and then when you open it up for the very first time, and then you click run, it's going to ask where you want to download it. I fully recommend I fully recommend downloading it somewhere where you know you have a lot of space, because these mods actually take a lot of space. So you just want to make sure that you know exactly where it's going to be downloaded. What I did, just to make it easier, I have an SSD, so I made a folder just called Mass Effect Mods, and then for the mod manager, I have a very specific folder for that. So just to make it easier for you. Now, when it's done and when it's downloaded, it'll ask to update. Just click yes. It's you can just do that, and then by that point, you should be able to actually run the thing. So when you first open it, you'll notice these tabs: LE1, LE2, LE3, and the LE launcher. Obviously, LE1 is Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, and then the launcher. That's also very important. So now, the next thing you want to do, this is pretty important, go to Settings, and then, or wait, I'm sorry. You want to go to the top right, and it'll ask you to link your Nexus Mods account. I actually don't remember exactly how to do this because I've just been logged in for almost 3 years now. Um, but like there should just be like a setting to do it, because it'll just make downloading mods a lot easier and makes it a lot less to worry about. Now, this is a very important step that I'm going to be talking about, especially if you do plan on modding the game with textures, like any game with Mass Effect. Thankfully, these are all separated, so like LE1 mods don't have anything to do with LE2 mods, and vice versa with 3. So there's just to make it a lot easier for you. Now, whenever you open this mod manager, it's going to tell you like, hey, you haven't backed up any of your games. Now, what that means is that basically if you mod your game with textures and then you decide, oh, well, there's a mod I don't like here that I want to get rid of. Basically, unfortunately, Mass Effect, with modding Mass Effect, you have to basically delete or restart the modding process and like restore the game to its vanilla state, and then you would have to like mod it all over again. So this is basically just making it a lot easier, so where like you don't have to like reinstall the whole game. It'll just be like, oh well, here, like only modding Mass Effect 2 specifically. So if something goes wrong with Mass Effect 2, you can just restore that one to its vanilla state instead of having to delete everything and then reinstall it. So it's just like basically making it a lot easier. So to make your backups, all you want to do, go to this top section, click backup, and then same thing as the mod manager, you just want to like pick a spot where you know you have a lot of space. So in my folder, Mass Effect mods, I also have a backup folder just to make it a lot easier. So when you click, so basically, here we'll do Mass Effect 3 just to give you an example. So click on this. This is the location of where the game is downloaded. Click backup. Click whatever language you prefer. Click OK. And then you're going to want to go to where you want the backup. Just click on the folder, click select folder, and then it'll start the backup process. Now, the thing that is to be remembered is that also does take space. Like you were basically saying, like, okay, I want to make a copy of the game directory, which, that's going to be like 20, 30, or 40 gigs. So if you decide to back up all the games all at once, you're basically being like, oh, well, here's like an extra 110 gigs that I want to use of space on my computer. So I honestly recommend, like, as you go through the trilogy, like, just do one game at a time. Same thing with mods, like, same thing with the mods, like, just focus on one game at a time as you get to it, because especially, like, if mods get updated, you know, just to make things easier on you. Okay, so that's enough of that. I feel like all that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, this is going to be the easy part, actually, is downloading the actual mod themselves. So basically, all you want to do is you just want to click on a mod. There's two ways you can do it. You can either manually download it, and then drag the zip file into this section. It'll automatically recognize it, and then you just click install. Or you can click Mod Manager Download, which usually would it would usually take you to Vortex, but because you've linked the Mod Manager for Mass Effect to your Nexus mods, now anytime you click it for Mass Effect, it'll take you here, which is very convenient. And then, like I said, every time you click on a mod, here we'll do an example. We'll do let's do the here, wait, no, let me do a smaller mod just because it'll just be easier. This wasn't, I probably should have had this ready to go, but I just woke up, so I haven't really had time to think about it. Here, we'll do this. Okay, so anytime you click on this, go to Mod Manager Download, click Download, slow download, or it'll just automatically do it if you have Nexus Premium. You'll get a pop-up that shows the download progress, and then when it's all done, it'll be like, okay, do you want to install or import? You always want to click on Import. And then it'll show up in your menu. And there you go. That's like the download process. Now, this is going to be when it gets a little tricky. When you want to make when you're downloading multiple mods and then you actually want to use them in game. So this is the fun part. Basically, what you want to do is you want to have all your mods ready to go, like just in this list, and then you have to click apply mods. Okay, so so basically based on the mod that you download, so for example, this one, it's mainly just like a video mod that like overwrites game files. It's nothing really that crazy. Basically, when you click apply, it'll give you like that pop-up showing you like, ooh, you just give us a second, and then it'll let you know if it's all done. It'll give you the warning like it did just for me, like, hey, there's no backup for this game. Are you sure you want to download it? So that's like another reason why backups are important. So, now, basically, now for like a crazy mod, like one that adds a lot of content or replaces stuff, stuff like that, or if it requires like compatibility with other mods, I mean, the menus are kind of self-explanatory. Like, it'll basically, most mods will automatically detect if you have another mod downloaded and already applied to the game. Some mods you might have to like manually put it, but it's not too bad, thankfully. Like this one, this requires like this has like a bunch of configuration stuff, like the Citadel Epilogue mod, Expanded Galaxy, Silent Trainer, that kind of stuff. But it should automatically detect it, like if you have it already applied. So basically, yeah, like you just want to click apply, make sure the settings look good or to your standards, and then click apply again. It'll download, it'll like do like a pop-up screen, and then you're done. Boom, easy peasy. Some mods will not fully be applied to your game unless you do this process twice, especially if you're downloading a lot of mods that require different compatibilities or stuff like that. So I've found that it is easier to just like be like, okay, like let's just download like the important stuff first and then like kind of go down the list in alphabetical order. And then when you're done with that and everything's applied, do it again, but this time just like go straight down the list because some settings might pop up differently based on other mods that you have applied. It sounds confusing and it is a little bit, but it's not that bad. It really just depends on how many mods you have downloaded. Like for me, I have a lot of them. Some people might not want to mod Mass Effect like that, but it's there. Now, there's another thing we need to talk about. Texture mods. So not every mod can actually be downloaded in this way, like where you can like drag it and drop. No, there are some mods that actually require a whole different mod manager, like textures. So this one, for example, or no, not this one. That's a bad example. It's actually this one. So whenever you're downloading a mod, it's not going to be everything, and thankfully the mod manager will let you know, like, hey, you're trying to download a texture mod in this menu, so you're not able to do that. So it is nice to just like keep track of the mods that are textures and regular mods or DLC files, stuff like that. So a texture mod, it will be this. It'll be an MEM file, which you need another mod manager for. But thankfully, this one makes it a lot like it actually makes it pretty easy to see which one. All you want to do is just go up to Tools, click Mass Effect Modder for Legendary Edition. It'll download it. It doesn't take that long. Now, for the textures, again, they do take up a lot of space. So in my folder, you don't have to do it this way, but in my folder, I just made a texture folder and I separated them with each game. And then you can just have them in a list like this. Like you don't have to like you just want to have them unzipped and just in a list like this. And I'll show you why in a second. We'll do LE3s. Basically, to install texture mods, you want to just click on whatever game you're playing, click on texture mods, install. It'll give you that pop-up, and I'll explain what that means in a second. Click Add to List, and then you want to go to wherever your texture mods are located, and then you just want to do this. Just drag, like hover over everything, click Open, and then click Install All Mods. And that's going to take some time, especially if you have a lot of them. And it'll give you a confirmation like, hey, it's all done. Now, the important thing to remember about texture mods, this is important, is that you want to save those for very last. You do not want to install those first. If you try to install those first and then you try to install mods on here, it'll give you the warning like, hey, you can't do this. And you have to restore your game to its vanilla state before you do that. That's another reason why this step is very important because a lot of people make that mistake. I made that mistake the first time I modded it too because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. So yeah, and that in a nutshell is basically how you install Mass Effect. Now for reshades, if you want to do that, whatever reshade you download for each game, for each specific game, this is an optional step. Basically, you want to go to the Mass Effect Legendary Edition directory, click on Game, click on whatever game, go to Binaries, Win64, and then whatever reshade you download, it'll go into this part. It's the same for every game. Just go to Binaries, Win64, and then boom, there you go. For reshades, this is actually the one that I use because I just think it actually looks pretty good. It's entirely optional and it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but it's just something I like. Um, and yeah, pretty much everything else you can just kind of trial and error, like, just download stuff that you like. If you don't like it, you can just delete it. If there's ever a mod that you want to like delete without having to like worry about restoring your game, like which only happens if you download texture mods, basically all you want to do, go to manage target. This will like show you what's enabled. Then you want to click on disable, then delete, and then you want to go to the actual mod in your list, right click, and then delete mod from library. Or alternatively, what you could do is just do this, or like, just do this. Go to your Mass Effect mods, mod manager, go to mods, go to the game, and then just delete what you don't want. And yeah, when you are all done with Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, or Mass Effect 3, whatever game you're playing that's modded, I actually do recommend deleting those mods and then just kind of like going to the next one because, like I said, they do take up space. They do take up space. Like, for example, the mods that I have for Mass Effect 2, those are 19 gigs. For the mods I have for Mass Effect 3, that's 50 gigs. So it does take some space. So but honestly, like I said, modding Mass Effect's not really that hard. The only thing that's just kind of annoying is the applying process, because some people just don't have the patience for that. Is just like, manually applying, like clicking apply, then blah blah blah. So yeah. Anyways, that is essentially how to mod Mass Effect. I don't think there's that much to it, thankfully. It's pretty simple. And yeah. One other thing, if you ever download mods that are incompatible with each other, thankfully the mod manager will tell you by default, like, hey, this mod is incompatible with this other one. Most of the time, if you're ever unsure, thankfully the Mass Effect modding community is very thorough with their descriptions, and especially for installation help. So if you ever need anything, especially the popular mods, they're very nice about doing that. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's it. When you're all done modding your game and make sure everything is applied, your texture mods, all that stuff, you don't have to worry about like launching the game a specific way. You can just go to your Steam, click play, and boom, there you go. So yeah, that's how you mod Mass Effect. I hope this was an easy tutorial. I hope this helps people who need it or who are curious. I've been requested to do this video for a little bit, so it's nice to actually finally do it. And yeah, that's all I got. That's all for now.